Hello friends, I am Krishna Kanjani from LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. Welcome to the online lecture series on kinematics and theory of motion. In this session, we will learn about gear. In previous session, we have learned about the classification of gear according to its first type, that is according to position of axis of shaft. Okay, where it is parallel, intersecting and non-intersecting and non-parallel shaft. Now, second type of gear which is classified according to their peripheral velocity, that is means with how much peripheral velocity they are rotating. Okay, so according to that they are classified into simply three types: low velocity, medium velocity and high velocity. If the velocity is less than 3 meter per second, then it is low. If it is between 3 to 15 meter per second, then it is medium velocity gear, and if it is more than that, that is more than 15 meter per second, then it is termed as a high velocity gear. Third classification, that is according to the type of gearing, how they are engaging with each other. For example, first one, that is external gearing. So in external gearing, the gear tooth are cut on the outer periphery of this gear wheel. So in this way, we can say this arrangement is known as a external gearing. Over here, the small size of gear is termed as a pinion and the large size of gear is termed as a gear. Now, if you want to transmit power in such a way, for example, the mechanism which is used in our wristwatches or in several mechanisms where the internal type of tooth are required. So in that case, we can use this type of arrangement where the internal gearing, where first type of gear which is termed as a ring gear, or we can say peripheral gear, where the gear teeth are connected on its internal side, and on a meshing gear it is on a outer side. So one having external gear and second one having internal gear. So this arrangement is known as an internal gearing system. Okay, now the third one, that is known as a rack and pinion arrangement. Over here we can say simply spur gear type of gear are used, where first one is a circular gear, while the other gear which is made up in such a shape that it is having infinite diameter, we can say, or it is a simple in a flat manner. So in this way, if you are rotating this gear, then it will produce translatory motion of the other element. Okay, so this type of arrangement can be used in lathe machine, while to make forward or backward arrangement or of the tool post, you can use the wheel to transmit it on a simply bed of on which the tool carriage is mounted. Okay, so this type of arrangement is known as a rack and pinion gear. Okay, so in such a way, this classification of gears, so gears are classified into mainly three categories. Okay, now let's learn some terminology which are very useful and essential to learn about gear. Okay, so over here the first terminology, that is known as a pitch circle. Okay, now let's learn how this pitch circle came into picture. So let's consider that first gear A is meshing with gear B in such a way that we are sketching this arrangement. Over here, external gears are provided on both the gears. Okay, so now in this case, if you want to identify the size of gear A and gear B, then you will be confused that either we can use the top portion or the bottom portion of the teeth. So over here, in identical situation, the ideal circle, the imaginary circle which is passing from this tooth is considered as a pitch circle, and this circle will be useful to define the size of this gear. Okay, so to simply define, we have to consider that to sketch this arrangement in a simple way, we can say this one is your gear A and this one is your gear B. Then this diameter which I have sketched over here is termed as a pitch circle diameter, where the pitch circle is an imaginary circle over which the gear teeth are considered to be meshing. Okay, so pitch circle diameter are very useful to identify or to clarify the size of gear. Now next one, that is known as a addendum. Now from this addendum, or we can say this imaginary point, from this imaginary circle, if you want to identify the distance which is measured in radial direction, because it from this center of this gear we can say that the measurement which is done along its radial direction. Okay, so here you have to remember this word radial direction. Okay, so the radial distance measured from the pitch circle to the outer periphery, or we can say to the topmost side of a teeth, is known as a addendum. Next one, dedendum. So if we consider the radial distance from the pitch circle to the bottom of the teeth, then it is termed as a dedendum. Here, okay, and with the help of this addendum and dedendum, we can derive two more terms, that is addendum circle and dedendum circle. Okay, so the circle which is passing from the top of the teeth, and concentric with this pitch circle, this imaginary circle, is termed as a addendum circle. And in a similar way, if we are sketching one circle which is passing from the bottom of the ear tooth and concentric with this pitch circle, then it is termed as a dedendum circle. Okay, so this addendum and dedendum distance are always slightly different, and this difference is required for proper meshing of the gear teeth. Next one, that is circular pitch. Okay, so to learn this concept of circular pitch, let's consider that we have point A on this gear at teeth A, and the similar type of point can be obtained on the adjacent gear at this point. Okay, let's consider point B. Okay, so the distance between this A and D point, which is in a diametral form, circumferential form. Okay, so this circumferential distance from point A to point B, now this will help to identify the same point on its adjacent tooth. Either you can find out from this top starting point, either you can consider at point center. If you consider this center point from over here, if you are considering point C, then the similar type of point C, or we can say C dash, can be obtained at this middle point. So this circumferential distance, which is measured from a point on one teeth to the adjacent point, to the same type of point on its adjacent teeth, then this distance, circumferential distance, is termed as circular pitch. Okay, so how can we calculate this circumferential distance, or we can say this circular pitch? So to calculate this circular pitch, we have to first calculate the whole circumference, that is pi d, because pi is defining as a where the d is defining as a pitch circle diameter. Okay, so this pi into d will define the circumferential distance. If you divide this circumferential distance with the number of teeth on this circumference, then you can obtain this distance. Okay, so this formula is very useful and very essential to calculate examples. That's why this circular pitch, or we can say pitch, is simply a circumferential distance from a point on one teeth to the same point on adjacent teeth. Okay, and it is calculated by the equation pi d by t, where d is the diameter of the pitch circle and t is equal to number of teeth. Now second term, that is diametral pitch. Okay, so if you want to calculate the number of teeth per unit diameter, then it is termed as a diametral pitch. Okay, if you calculate the number of teeth per unit diameter, then it is termed as a diametral pitch. Okay, let's learn few more terminologies about here. Next one, that is tooth thickness, or we can simply say that the width of teeth. Okay, so from which point you will measure? On the top it will be slightly lower in amount, while in bottom it is slightly larger in amount. It is varying on its throughout profile. So you have to measure this tooth thickness along its pitch circle only. That's why we have first introduced pitch circle, which is an imaginary circle. So with the help of this imaginary circle, you can define various parameters of here. Okay, so the first one, that is tooth thickness. over here we can simply say that the thickness of teeth, or we can say width of gear teeth, measured along the circumference of a gear, then this circumference should be on a pitch circle. Okay, so we can simply say that the width of, or we can say thickness of gear measured along the pitch circle is known as a tooth thickness. Okay, so the another distance which is remaining is a space between them. Okay, so if you want to identify or measure this distance, then it is termed as a tooth space. That the space between two gear teeth measured along the pitch circle is known as a tooth space. Now, ideally you will imagine that the tooth thickness and tooth space may be the same because the distance should be same, but not. Ideally, the tooth thickness and tooth space should be, in a theoretical term, we can say it should be the same value. But practically it is not possible, because if you are not providing some backlash between them, then it will jam while working. Let's consider this diagram over here. While meshing of two gears, if you are considering this thickness and this space as the same value, so while engagement it will insert it between this space, but while disengagement it will require some space over here, otherwise it will jam between them. Okay, so this jamming will occur if you are not providing certain distance gap between this tooth space and this width of the, or we can say thickness of the teeth. Okay, so this distance is known as a backlash, which is necessary for smooth functioning of the gear. Next term, that is known as a clearance. Now on the same way, you can also consider that the distance while one gear tooth is meshing with other, then this clearance must be provided, otherwise it will be inserted in between and it is quite difficult for smooth functioning. Okay, so over here this distance is known as a clearance. Over here you can consider that the total working depth of work of one gear and wheel depth, the total depth and the working depth, this difference is known as a clearance. Okay, so simply we can say that the vertical distance or radial distance measured from the difference of working depth and the whole depth will give you the value of clearance. Okay, now let's learn the next term, which is module. Module is a term which can be identified or found out by the, simply we can say, the ratio of diameter of the gear to the number of teeth on gear. Okay, this term is very useful in numericals to calculate various parameters. Next term, which is pitch point. Okay, now while engagement of one gear with the other gear, you can observe over here that one point is always in contact between them. Okay, so this point is known as a pitch point. Clear? Next one, pressure angle. Pressure angle is an angle which is measured between this common tangent. If you consider tangent over here, then this tangent is common. If you consider one tangent from this point, then this tangent is common for gear 1 as well as for gear 2. For gear 1 and 2, for both the cases, this tangent is common. Okay, so if you sketch common tangent over here and common normal over here, this line which is passing from the bottom, or we can say from the dedendum circle. Okay, so from the dedendum circle, if you are drawing one line which is common normal between them, then this angle between this common normal and common tangent is termed as a pressure angle phi. Okay, this terminology is very useful while solving the numerical of gear. Okay, so this is all about various terminology and classification of gear. Thank you.